Every day is a gift. Some people don't wake up and their journey is over. We woke up today, and you can make your day great, or you can make your day crap. It's up to you. Eremos is more than a name. It's a way of life. It's our sanctuary, our escape from the noise, and our connection to the deeper meaning of our lives. It's about finding joy in the outdoors, seeking growth, and leaving the world a better place than we found it. Welcome to Elevate and Explore, a podcast where we dive into the beauty of nature, self-discovery, and the endless possibilities that come with living intentionally. Welcome to our journey.
I think what would you say? Last weekend is the unknown, wonderful joys and adventures of life that every day is a mystery, and to behold what you choose.
Mm-hmm. Every day you have the chance to wake up and start all over if you want. Do something new. Every day is a gift. Some people don't wake up and their journey is over. We woke up today, and you can make your day great, or you can make your day crap. It's up to you.
This morning, I'll be honest, I woke up and I just felt sore and stiff and kind of cranky, and I didn't let it be the norm. I still had to get up. I still had to do stuff. And today was, compared to the last week, I would say today was the best day we've had. It was just super productive, super just mentally stimulating. We solved problems. We got things done, had some gratification, some wins. And then it was just a good day. So, I can't remember who I said it to, but it's like, we said it last week, is if you're just looking and living for happiness in a day, then you're really not living for much. Every day is not going to be perfect. Every day is not going to be great and wonderful and fantastic, and that's okay.
No, you can't expect to be fully happy and fully joyful every day throughout a whole entire day every day. And like you said, that's completely okay. I think too many of us, it's almost a unrealistic goal to be happy 100% of the time. Yes, you can aim for it. Is it going to happen? No, there's always going to be some downfalls. There's always going to be some sadness. There's always going to be some frustration. There's going to be some things that take away from that happiness. But you know what? That's okay. We're not perfect.
It means you're alive. It means you're living.
Yeah.
If everything was good, you'd probably be somewhere else.
Yeah, we don't get anywhere by things being perfect all the time. We get better from our trials, our tribulations, our failures, our challenges, the bad, the ugly, the good stuff. Yes, it's fantastic. The happy stuff is amazing. But it's really the hard times, the tough things that really define us and get us to where we want to be.
Oh, absolutely. I read it somewhere the other day, is, whatever happened in the past it's not making your life any better or worse. It's just making your testimony, and your testimony is what matters. And, today, just to give you a little insight, we had a very productive call, talking about some software, talking about business, talking about some opportunities. And the first thing that came up was to talk about your brand as a story, telling your story, that, you could have the greatest product, you could have the fanciest this, that, or whatever, you could have the marketing, the automation, you could have it all down. But if it doesn't tell a story that's relatable to your audience, especially, you don't really have anything at all. So being able to tell a story and relate to pain, struggles, that's what makes us successful in business. But that's also, that simple reminder that it's just part of it. And you can be very comfortable living day to day, just in the same style. Also be very comfortable in taking some chances and living on the edge, and maybe not living on the edge, but pushing a little deeper, pushing a little further, trying a little bit more than you did yesterday.
I think too many of us don't get to where we want to go and don't chase goals, don't chase dreams, because we get comfortable. We get comfortable in, we're not struggling to pay the bills anymore. We're not struggling with this. We're not struggling with that. And you just get comfortable and you think, oh, why do I need to do anymore? And a lot of times, if you don't want to do anymore, that's okay. If you want to be comfortable, that's fine. But if you really want to get somewhere, you can't get comfortable. You have to get comfortable in the discomfort of pushing yourself every day, challenging yourself, failing, pushing yourself harder than you ever imagined. Comfort becomes a constant. It doesn't create growth. It creates stagnation. So if you want to grow, you got to get comfortable with the discomfort and embrace it, live it, love it, breathe it.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch the video I sent you from the Sunday service this weekend?
Not yet. I haven't had a chance yet. It's on my list.
All right. Well, I would like to talk about some of that and make sure
Yes,
you put that on there. So in much relation to what we're talking about, this weekend service was, I don't remember exactly where it started or what pages we were on, but we talk about Jesus's trials in Jericho, the town of Jericho, how he walked through the town, high, low, anywhere and everywhere in between, and nobody reached out for him. Nobody called for him. Nobody was seeking him. So like there is no documentation that he had helped anybody there, which doesn't mean that his presence wasn't there. He was still there, but he didn't help anybody because nobody asked for him. Nobody reached out. The moral of the story was that outside of the outskirts of town, the blind man was just aimlessly wandering around, basically giving all glory to God, telling him, thank you for everything, that, even though I can't see, you are still my savior. And he had said this out loud, and people would, call him a fool and basically shun him for that, because what kind of crazy man is this, just blind, walking aimlessly around? What's he talking about? And, in the documented script is like, that is one of the only person that Jesus came to, was somebody who was asking for him, because despite what everybody said, he still went further. He didn't stay in town. He went further than the city limit. He went further. He kept pushing himself. He still did what everybody else was not doing. I say all that to say is like, that's as relatable as it gets to anything in life or business. Is like, the more we push, it's not what I'm doing right now. It's not that, oh, I did 100 extra steps than you. It's just that I just went further. And same thing tomorrow. It's okay. You didn't do that much, but I still go further. In terms of whatever we want to apply that to, we talked early on, just the start of this episode is, I'm not drinking right now. Are you drinking tomorrow? I'm just going to keep going further, see where it takes me. And that has good and bad. I remember I would go further, and you finish off a 24 pack of PBR, and you're like, I'm going to go further. I'm going to break out a bottle of Jim Beam. And then there's such thing as too far on that side. But if I'm not drinking and I'm going to go I want to run an extra mile like you did the other day, congratulate yourself, and let's acknowledge that as well. But you went further. You pushed yourself. There is no limit. You're not going to burn yourself. I mean, you could burn yourself out. You could, potentially, but the likelihood of you hurting yourself from trying a little bit harder there is a lot less than if you were to put a whole bunch of the bourbon down your face.
Yeah. So I've been on this sober journey. Today's 48 days I haven't drank. It was never that I had a drinking problem. Maybe when I would drink, I'd like to drink too much. I'd go out networking and I'd start talking to people, and I'd have a drink and then another drink and then another drink. Next thing I know, it's 2, 3 a.m., 10, 12 drinks deep. Go stumble home to bed, crawl in bed, and wake up feeling like absolute hell the next day. Waking up late, getting to work late. And I did that for months. My whole life, ever since I was 21, I always enjoyed drinking. I always enjoyed over drinking. I had a very good tolerance. I could drink a lot. And, one time I was sitting at the bar and the bartender's like, you can really drink a lot. And for a moment I was proud of myself. Like, yeah, I can really handle my alcohol. And then I was thinking, like, it's probably not a good thing that I'm sitting here and a bartender's telling me that I'm good. And I've had at that point probably 10 drinks and still pretty freaking normal. And that was a good realization. That was just 2-3 months ago. And so I think that in the back of my mind, and then I've been going to a lot of different communities and spending time with my community, and the majority of them, a lot of them are very successful. A big key thing with them is they don't drink. They gave up drinking, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I try this out? So when I stopped, it was July 2nd, right before July 4th weekend, which is one of the biggest drinking holidays. Normally I'd be down at the shore, I'd be drinking all day. And I went to that weekend fine. And I was amazed. The biggest thing I noticed when I stopped drinking, especially on a long day like that where I'd normally be drinking all day, is how much more time there is in a day, how much more I remember from that day, how much better quality conversations I had with my family, how much better time I had throughout the day in general. I was happier, and I realized, this is great. Why don't I keep pushing? If I could make it through 4th of July, let's see how far I go. Now, I'm not saying I'll never have another drink in my life, but I feel pretty damn good. And, the first 2 weeks I quit drinking, I lost 10 pounds. I had been stuck at a wall on this weight loss journey for a few months. And as soon as I stopped drinking, I dropped 10 pounds immediately. And my mind just feels clearer. My body feels better. I don't have to worry about being hungover. I don't have to worry about going out somewhere and having too many drinks and have to worry about driving home. How am I going to get home? It's just really improved the quality of my life. So if you're out there and you're on the edge of thinking about stopping drinking for a little bit, I suggest trying it out and see how much your life improves. Because my life, a lot of things have really been falling together since I quit drinking. And my wallet loves it.
If it's not instant just from the bar tab, it's going to be very, very visually apparent in your health, like, quickly. It doesn't take long to acknowledge the benefits.
Oh my goodness, no. Yeah, it's the social norm is to just go out and drink, and I think this whole thing of going out and getting drunk with your friends, yeah, it's great. When you're young, it's fantastic. Brian and I would have never met if it wasn't for drinking. So I don't think drinking's bad. I don't look down on people who choose to drink. That's okay. But for me, I just realized I'm much better off without it.
I mean, I'll be honest, it's been hell. I mean, we've been going at it for a couple of years now, and I think I was sober at your wedding. I was sober for a handful of times. We'd go around the campfire. Like, I'd come to deer camp and there's no beer. Actually, I recall one deer camp we came up and I had like half a sip of a can, and it's just like, I can't do this. I don't want it. And you had mentioned earlier, is like, I'm really good at drinking. Yeah, I'm really good. I mean, nothing really boosts your confidence in your drinking ability like getting a quick BAC check and realizing like you're 2-3 times the limit. Like, there's a problem, but I don't know if it's an act of God that I was still standing or what happened, but tolerance aside, like, that was not healthy. That was not good. That was not something to be commended by. So when I got to a point where I was like, all right, I need to quit drinking. Definitely gotten in trouble enough with it. You push that boundary. You think it's not going to happen to you. I mean, I think it's very common in today's world. Like, many people have been stopped and have had a DUI, and depending on what state you're in, it's sometimes a minimum offense. Sometimes it's a very punishable offense. So it depends. And it took a couple of those instances for me to wise up and realize, like, that's not where I want my life to go. And if you value yourself as a person throughout the day, and then you have a weekend of, you're just going to let it slide and do something stupid, that image that you have on that one time is the direct reflection of who you were the rest of the week. It's not like you can live two different lives. So you really have to pick and choose which sword you want to carry. Are you going to be, a person that somebody's going to look up to, or are you going to be the person that somebody's going to look up to, and then you're going to go, be on the front page of the newspaper on the weekend? That's a choice. So my choice very quickly was, I don't care how much I enjoyed spending time with you. I don't care how much I enjoyed spending time with other friends. But if the only reason we got together was to drink, then as a friend, I have to keep my distance if I'm going to still like you. Because if I have to be around you while you're in that moment, there's no way this is going to work. And it's a very definitive line of who your friends are. I've got a couple of people I know now that they still like to drink, they still like to get rowdy, and that's fine, but we keep them at distance. And with all due respect, that's just the way it has to be. That's nothing personal. That doesn't mean I don't like you. It just means that in this moment, we are on two different paths. And if we're on two different paths, if I veer off mine, we're going to be in some serious trouble. So I couldn't tell you how long it's been since I've not had a cigarette. It's been a very long time. It has been years since I've had Copenhagen, and that one has been a little painful. I surely missed my Copenhagen, but I just did that session the other night with Cam. He immediately called me out on the nicotine pouches. He's like, "Is that gum in your mouth?" And I was like, "No, it's actually a nicotine pouch. I usually have a bag of gum, but I don't have any gum, so I got to switch to the nicotine pouches." And he's like, he ran there. So that's next on my list.
Yep. Yeah, I'm still on the nicotine pouches as well. And I'm looking at the top of my fridge now. At one point, I had about 100 new cans up there. There was a sale, and I bought a ton. And I keep telling myself, when they're all gone, that's it. I should quit sooner, but I figured I've been doing so well with so many other things. I've been eating well. Every couple, maybe once a week, I have one bad day, but that's not going to ruin me, and it's okay. I've given up drinking. I gave up smoking almost 4 years ago. I gave up vaping 4 months ago. So I've given up a lot of vices, and this is probably the healthiest one. Not the healthiest, the better of the vices you can have.
Yeah.
And it's, once that's gone, I'll be okay with it. I know I've become so much stronger by giving up these things that are bad for me, helping improve myself, helping evolve myself. So I'm not going to look down on myself because I still have a vice. It's okay. And that's what we need to tell ourselves, that there could be worse. I could still be out drinking every night. I could still be smoking, could still be doing this or that. But if the worst thing I'm doing at the moment is some nicotine pouches, I'm all right with that. And that's what you got to find out for yourself, is what you're okay with and what you're not okay with.
I mean, the immediate vice, the nicotine pouch, is not bad. You can have one every, whatever period of time. It's when you're popping a handful of them at a time, and, a can or two of them things a day is probably not ideal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm throwing in, as soon as, I get up, I have one in at the gym. And as soon as that one's done, I throw in another one. And throughout the whole day, I probably have one in my mouth the whole day. So not doing multiples at one time, but doing one throughout the whole day. But it's still better than me sitting at my desk all day, sitting in my apartment, chiefing on my freaking vape. That was terrible for me.
I just think back to a very short time where you're like rolling around trying to rummage through Copenhagen cans. And you're like, this is so bad for me. And then the other day I was looking for one of these damn Zyn pouches, and I've got like 12 cans that are empty, and you're like, God damn it, I'm in the same loop again.
Yeah.
But
at least we're self-aware of it. That's the start, is becoming self-aware of the things you shouldn't be doing. I think a lot of us just don't even take a second thought of it. We go out, we drink, we smoke a cigarette, we maybe smoke pot, for those who out there smoke pot. We do our vaping, we do our nicotine pouches, and we just never get any thought. That's just part of our day. At least you and I, at this point, we realize it's bad for us, and we have a thought in our mind that we are going to stop. It's not forever. It's not just, oh, well, yep, I do it every day, and I'll probably always do it. Nope. I do it for now, and I'm going to be done.
If we could be so critical of vices, cursing, I just let out a little curse here on this just accidentally, and I didn't even think about it. And then, the other night, you just middle of the night rummage around for snacks because you didn't eat enough during the day. That's just as bad of a vice. Or maybe you're going to go drink 2 or 3 sodas throughout the day, or versus water, or not next best comparable. But if we are so critical on ourselves, trying to figure out which vice we need to get rid of, it becomes like a little hard. Trying to figure out how to cope. It's hard to handle that, and you can't do it all at once. That's almost dangerous.
Yep.
Pick one at a time, and whichever one you can comfortably live without, go for it. I think we still have a cursing problem.
A little bit. But yeah, I'm glad you just said that, because I was going to say the same thing. Is you cannot give up everything all at once. Some people can, yes, and they'll be able to be sustainable at it. But for me, absolutely not. Like my diet, for instance, I could not give up everything I've given up at one time. I've done it slowly over the course of about a year. I mean, any more carbs? I always loved bread. I always loved pizza, this and that. And anymore, throughout the course of a week, I eat very little to no carbs. And that's been tough. If I tried to give that up when I first started eating less and gave up cigarettes and gave up drinking all at once, I would have been setting myself for failure from the start. So when you're giving up things, when you're trying to improve yourself, it's okay to not do it all at once. I've learned is everything I've done, it's all been slow, sustainable steps, one thing at a time, till I get really good at the one thing, and then I move on to the next thing. Take it day by day. It's okay. It's a long process, losing weight, giving up drinking, quitting smoking. It's not easy, and I don't want to make anybody think it is easy. But it all comes down to mindset. Getting over these.
There's definitely 2 things that go to it. It's the mindset and it's moderation. Like everything you do should be in moderation. You can exhaust yourself too much from exercising. You could overextend yourself lifting weights. You could drink too much and, worst case, wreck your car, or definitely worse, hurt somebody. You can absolutely have too much nicotine. You could actually eat too much good food. Everything has a limit. Your time has a limit. Your everything has a limit. So if you can divvy them up into what is manageable and also what is appropriate for the serving, it becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, moderation is a big thing. One of the things I've always struggled with is like binge eating. Just one thing, a fistful of that, a handful of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Telling myself that, well, I'm just having a little bit of this, but I'm only having one little thing of this thing, but I'm also having a little thing of 10, 15 other things. The next thing you know, I just completely defeated the purpose. So I feel I'm doing moderation, but I'm not. So it's also being real with the moderation you're doing. Especially I know a lot of us struggle with the binge eating, and that's something that's haunted me my entire life. And I've definitely dialed it down, definitely gotten way better with it, because I became real with myself. I never wanted to tell myself I eat too much. I have a binge eating problem. Who the hell wants to tell yourself something tough? But once I became real with myself and I realized it is a freaking problem, you become self-aware. Now Now when you start doing it, like, don't get me wrong, I still do it every once in a while, but I'll realize it shortly in, like, shit, crap, I'm doing it again. All right, let me have this one last scoop of peanut butter. I'm putting it away. Done. Walking away. And it's throughout giving these things up, you're still going to have some failures, and that's okay. Everything we do, no matter what we do in life, we're going to fail. We're going to fall back. But it's being real with yourself and telling yourself, you know what? I messed up. Let me write that down. Let me keep that in the back of my mind so that I can be more aware of it the next time I start to do it. And over time, you're going to improve. You're not going to be perfect overnight. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to fall back. You're going to fail. You're going to move forward. You're going to fail. You're going to fall back. But as long as you're consistently moving a little forward every day, you're golden.
No, 100%. The that little reminder that every day is just one small step is one more reminder that everything you put in your mouth has a serving size. And when you realize, what the mind-boggling one for me the other day was, you go to Chick-fil-A, fast food. I'm not a fan of fast food, but I eat Chick-fil-A because they got good chicken. So if you get grilled chicken and fruit salad, whatever, you get a side of Chick-fil-A sauce. Chick-fil-A sauce is like 100 calories per little packet, and you get down 2 or 3 of them easy if you get enough chicken nuggets. Now, in moderation wise, you technically can't eat too much grilled chicken. 3 packets being 300 calories is mind-blowing. Now, even then, I've known that for a while, so I usually get 1 pack and try and only, a couple little dips of it is enough if you're going to do it. And the better thing is just don't freaking do it. Wait till you come home. I mean, last night I had chicken breast and some deer steaks for dinner with a garden tomato. That was so good.
Yep, I've been very good with not eating out, not going to get fast food. If I have to eat fast food, I'm probably going to go to like Salad Works or Chick-fil-A and get the grilled chicken with a side salad and a Coke Zero and buffalo sauce. I love the Chick-fil-A sauce, but the buffalo sauce has way less calories than the Chick-fil-A sauce. So you can still eat a little unhealthy with still being healthy. You don't have to be, well, I can only eat this. I can only eat that. That's not sustainable. There's instances in our life where we don't have access to something that's completely healthy. So it's finding the things that are the better option. It's not the best option, but it's a better option.
That's something I told myself for so long because I worked on the road. I traveled a lot. I have a terrible diet because I'm on the road. And then you just look at your choices. It's like you're driving down the road. The first thing that you see is like Subway or whatever burger joint, or you stop at a gas station. You got to get candy bars and a bag of trail mix or whatever, because that's the quickest thing you can put in your body. When it only takes about 10 seconds longer to just find something like a bag of jerky is low sodium jerky is better than just about anything else you're going to find. Or sometimes you go to a gas station, they have hard boiled eggs, they have vegetables, they have fruit. Like, it's probably not the greatest, but it's better than whatever else you're going to do. I argued with somebody that the one time, they're like, oh, well, we just stopped at the gas station to get taquitos and roller dogs. And I was like, those things are the nastiest darn thing you can put in your mouth, let alone anywhere else.
But they're delicious.
Oh, they're terrible. I don't even think you can pay me to eat one. It's like, I'd rather eat the like couple day old hard boiled eggs from the cooler than damn taquito.
And then just learning to say no. Through this weight loss journey, it's been really tough to learn how to say no, especially like this past weekend. Saturday we went out for my sister just got engaged Saturday, and we went out to dinner with my family, and his family came, and then his family brought a cake. People ate. They said it was absolutely fantastic. And, oh, do you want a piece? I'd love to have a piece, but I can't. No, thank you. Today I was tested twice. Our apartment building, once a month they bring in donuts for everybody. So free donuts. Nope, I'm fasting today. I'm not going to have them. At work, one of our suppliers stopped by and he dropped off donuts. My operations manager yells up the stairs, hey, we got donuts. You want some? I'd love a donut. Thank you, but no. And it's tough. It's taken me a long time to get there. I used to say, Yeah, I'll have one. It's okay. It's just a donut. Then it was okay. Anymore, it's not because I've elevated myself. I refuse to drink like a full soda, like a full octane Coke. I love soda, so I buy Coke Zeros. I enjoy Red Bull, so I buy Coke or Red Bull Zero Sugars. I've been cutting a lot of sugar out of my life. So sugar and carbs has made a massive difference in just the power of saying no, because that quick satisfaction, that donut would have been probably absolutely delicious. But I was just getting done with a fast. I ended my fast tonight. And you know what I had? I had seaweed salad and then some cashews and a thing of canned chicken. That was my meal. I have a nice frozen pizza in my oven, my freezer. It's been sitting there forever. Every time I open that freezer, I look at it, it would be delicious. It's like, you know what? I don't really want to eat canned chicken, but that's what I got to do right now. I'm doing things. I'm sacrificing, not sacrificing. I'm putting off immediate satisfaction, immediate enjoyment, immediate dopamine, immediate pleasure for greater success down the road by using the power of no. And a lot of us, I struggled with that forever. But the discipline, everything I've been learning, and knowing what I want down the road, where I want to get, the no has become so powerful to me. And it's going to offend some people, saying no to that cake. I think, his family might have been a little offended, but you know what? It doesn't matter. You got to do what's best for you to reach your goals.
That's kind of the I think the number one staple is just setting a limit, setting a boundary, especially when it comes to your needs and wants and everything else. Is like, if you don't do it, nobody else is going to. So I'd give you a lot of credit, because sometimes my willpower is not that strong. I totally would have eaten a slice of cake.
Yeah.
The other hand, I also have, had to have that same conversation with myself. Is like, if this, then you get this result. And one of the biggest challenges for me is, like, especially trying to eat healthy, you get so persuaded by, you got to be on this diet, you got to eat. I've seen every single diet plan and meal plan out there, and it's like, you got to have a bagel for breakfast with a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then you got to have a cup of fruit, and then for lunch you got to have this, and you add it up and you get calories and macros. And what has worked best for me is, like, I'm going to make one thing today. I'm going to cook one meal for the day, and it is going to be all the protein I need. It is going to be all the fat that I can handle. It is going to be all the carbs that I can possibly fathom. And it's going to be zero sugar, and it's going to be this. And I'm going to make one of those. I'm going to eat it 3 times a day, or whenever I'm hungry. If I'm hungry, I'm going to eat this, because I know that even if I eat this, it's like usually ground beef, eggs, and then whatever vegetables I've got. So I'll put cucumbers, I'll put pickles, I'll put tomatoes, I'll put avocado on it, and it's all like partial serving. So you're not, your main focus is just ground beef and vegetables. And it's like eating dog food sometimes. And then sometimes you get a little sassy, and you throw some mustard and hot sauce and ketchup on it, and it's not bad. And, like, especially when you throw pickles on, it's like eating a damn cheeseburger. And it's not great. I'll tell you, you eat that for 5 days in a row. I mean, I'd almost eat an egg fried off the sidewalk on Saturday, just because it was like a change up. But ground beef and eggs, man, that's all you need in a day. And I feel great after eating that way for so long. It's like, if you stop at Chick-fil-A, you eat a chicken sandwich, or I think you had mentioned somewhere you ate a couple hot dogs and you felt like absolute garbage. It's like the feeling after is like, I'm going to eat this. It tastes so good for like 3 seconds. And then after that, you feel bloated, you feel gassy, you feel irritable, your head hurts, can't drink enough water, your belly swells up, you can't do anything the rest of the day. You just want to take a nap. And it's like, how the fuck do you get anything done doing that? Excuse my language, but I mean, that's a real feeling I've talked to myself about. It's like, you have to make a choice. As good as something is, it's just, and I'm a sucker, cold heart sucker for some chocolate milk. I'll polish off a gallon a day if you give me a chance to. Like, I won't even think twice about it. And we did the math, and it's like, you damn eat an entire daily serving of calories total food and everything if you drank a whole gallon of milk.
Hmm.
I never thought about it that way, but I could do it. I do it just to prove a point. I'll drink a whole gallon of milk in a day just because, let alone if there's chocolate syrup in it. So now you had chocolate syrup in there, and there's an extra, probably, I don't know, 50 calories per serving, whatever. And you just had to cut it out. And every
Yep.
now and then, you bust ass, work hard. You could just have a little bit, and it's not going to hurt you. But you don't need a whole bunch of servings a day.
Yeah. Since I've become really attuned to what my body really needs, and I realize I need so much less than I actually think. And anymore, I try to only eat if I'm actually hungry, not because it's lunch, not because it's dinner, not because it's breakfast, when I actually need it. And now I eat till I feel satisfied, not full. I always used to overeat. I'd feel like crap. I'd feel overfull. Being full isn't the goal. Being
Mhm.
satiated, being content, being nourished, not being full. If you're full, then you probably ate too much. And
Mhm.
realizing how much I need to eat in a meal, going out, it's funny. I'll sit there and it's maybe a little judgmental of me, but I'll watch people order what they're ordering and eat what they're eating, and like, man, this one meal they're eating almost double what I'm eating in a whole day now. And I used to do that, and I wondered why I was so big, why I couldn't lose weight, because I used to do that too. I would literally eat in one meal what I'm now eating an entire day.
And
And
my favorite analogy is like, I want you to picture right now eating 12 tortillas. But if we deep fry them and put them with a bunch of crushed up salsa and peppers, you'd have no problem doing it.
yes, yes. When I realized, man, we'd make those freaking corn or flour tortillas or corn tortillas up at the cabin. We get a whole freaking stack of them, fry them up, and yeah, you just eat one chip after another, not think about it. And then you look at the label, one tortilla is like 100 calories or 90 calories or something. And when you cut it up, that's 4 chips. So you have 4 chips. You're down in freaking, 100 calories, and we'd sit there and eat a pile of them. Goodness gracious. And yeah, it's once you become aware, it really puts things into perspective.
Yeah. And we think about it, is like deer camp, or let's go out west. Let's go out west and hunt. If we go out and we hike 10, 15 miles a day and we actually do get something, we're gonna eat like damn kings. There's no doubt about it. But in day-to-day life, there's no reason for it.
See, that I
Remember?
don't even know anymore, because Saturday I ran 3 miles. I have this Oura ring now, so it tells me what how many calories I burn a day. That day I burnt about 4,700 calories. And, I ate very little that day. For dinner, we went out to dinner. I had broccolini and a salad. And I could have absolutely ate that cake and it wouldn't have affected me one bit. But I knew if I gave in and I had that cake, it wasn't about the eating it and being okay. It was about the mental of not letting myself down, but letting myself think that it's okay. Kind of what Sean said last week, that there's no days off. That in that moment, yes, I absolutely could have ate that cake and been perfectly fine. But I looked at it as there's no days off. There's no, just because I burn a hell of a lot of calories that day, I can have that cake and enjoy it. No, it for me now, it goes deeper than that. Same with those donuts today. I could have had a donut and been fine, but it's deeper than the donut. It's the discipline, the I don't need it. It's not serving my purpose anymore.
Well, the next time we're around a wood stove in a wall tent, I'm gonna test your willpower and make some blueberry
Yeah.
pancakes in the cast iron.
Yeah, and it's amazing that yes, I still fall back on it here and there. But again, I'm self-aware and I know what I want and what I don't want. And I've been tested a lot, and I'm damn proud of myself for staying true and not giving in.
Well, I'm definitely proud of you, and I think I've said it a couple times the past month, but you've definitely been a catalyst and a motivator for me. That accountability is huge. Sean and I even said today, just accountability partners.
Hmm.
I won't let you fail, and you won't let me fail. That's the
Absolutely.
goal here.
Yeah. Now more than ever, now that I have a community, now that I have so many people watching me, everything I do is all public anymore. It's all on social media. I don't really have everybody sees what I'm doing, and that just gives me so much more motivation to not fall back because so many people believe in me. Every day I have people telling me how proud of me they are. The other day my grandma called me. She's like, "You know what? You look really good. I'm really proud of you." It's like, that feels amazing.
Yeah.
And I cannot fall back to my old ways. I would be letting a ton of people down, but more important, I would be letting myself down. And so having this community around me, that now it's not just me. I have other people cheering for me. I have other people seeing my progress. There ain't no turning back. There's going to be some ups and downs along the way, but there ain't no going back.
That's right. And I think that's, it's admirable. It takes a special type of person to push forward that way. And, you talk early on in the beginning of the call is like trying to figure your life out. What are your next steps? You don't need to figure anything else out. You're just doing the right things now.
Hmm.
Just keep doing what you're doing, and whatever is meant to happen next will happen. I think, that's been my biggest motivator the past couple of years. I said I was going to do something. I started to do it. I have wanted to give up. I have wanted to stop. I have wanted to put it off. But at the end of the day, I kept going. I'm still here. I am doing it. And that's
Hmm.
all I need.
Yeah. You show up every day, and that's what I tell everybody. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to know exactly what you're doing. Just show up every day, whether that's to a community that you belong to a call, to a seminar. Listen, learn, show up for your friends, show up for your family, show up for the people cheering you on, but most importantly, show up for you.
Mm-hmm.
And just do something every day that moves you a little bit forward. You're not going to have it all figured out. You're going to learn along the way, but show up.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. Show up, man.
Little unconventional episode, but definitely a great talk. And quite honestly, I think it's, at least looking at it, it's definitely a more relatable topic. I mean, these are real problems. These are real pain points. And I'm thankful that you and I were able to see these pain points and make something great of them. I know there's a handful of people that struggle with that. And truth be told, I struggle with that sometimes. And then I said it the other day, I said something just selfish and dumb, down and out. And it was at that moment I realized, it's like, there's a bigger picture here. I was like, Aaron would not like this. I would not like this. Katie would not like this. And I just go through that list of like, who am I letting down with my actions? And I would be hard pressed to tell you that there's a deeper pain than the thought of letting somebody else down.
Yeah.
Not that you can let yourself down all you want. You've lived with it, you'll live with it again. But imagine having to go to the person you love the most, the person you trust the most, the person you're most loyal to, and say, I have failed you. It's pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And But if you were to come to me, tell me that, I'd tell you, you know what? It's all right. Get back, pick yourself the hell back up, and let's freaking go. You're not done. You're just getting started. Um, and yeah, now that you have, it's right there. That's your little community that you have, and you're not on your own anymore. So, like you just said, you could let yourself down. You've done it before, but now that you have people cheering you on, people rooting for you in the stands, we don't want to see you fail. So, yeah, it's that much more of a motivator for you when you have that community behind you. It's freaking gold. Because it gives you
Yeah,
thoughts like that. Like, what would they think of me? Who would I be letting down other than just myself?
yeah. I mean, Sean said it best last episode. Is like, what's your why?
Hmm.
If if you're not crying and you're really struggling to get that out because it hurts, it's not strong enough. If you say you're doing it because you want to, I want some fame, you want this, you want, whatever, some pride and ego in there, that's not a real good reason.
Nope.
When you're going to say you got to do it, brings a little tear to your eye. We're talking purpose.
Yes. Fulfillment.
Sounds like next week's
Man.
episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, what a good conversation.
Mhm.
Anything else on your mind?
No, amidst everything, we need to have some conversation about upcoming outdoor gear. We need to, not to drop any surprises or anything, but let everybody know there's new outdoor gear coming. We need to get that underway. And then aside from that, we had made some brief mention about a hunting or fishing trip, and I really think we should plan that because that needs to happen sooner than later.
Yes. Yes. Get a couple of good people together, go somewhere magical, create some magic.
You want to go on a desert sheep hunt?
Maybe.
Be
Where and when?
be like sometime in the winter in New Mexico,
Okay. Yeah, we
maybe.
can talk about it. Absolutely.
Be a good test, see how fit you are. Go climb up a mountain. The only thing you'll want by the time you get home is a cheeseburger.
Bring it on, baby.
I'll have
I'm
to
ready.
dehydrate some and bring for us. All right. Well, I think that sums it up.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Always a pleasure.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Have a great one.